Hi everyone, my name is Pongbi Ao and I will be presenting about plastics and its impact upon our environment. This is the table of content and these are the topics that I will be presenting in the following slides. I will firstly explain briefly about what plastic is and its common usage and why we use plastics. After that, the impact of plastic upon our environment and on the earth will be explained, and lastly, how to reduce plastic will be discussed. So, what are plastics? Plastics are polymer-based materials that are mostly synthetic, which means man-made, and there are also natural plastics which are not synthetic. While plastics may be made from just about any organic polymer, most industrial plastic is made from petrochemicals. Thermoplastics and thermosetting polymers are the two types of plastics. The name plastic refers to the property of plasticity, which means the ability to deform without breaking. Plastics are made up of a variety of synthetic compounds and can be molded into solid forms. Bakelite, created by Leo Baekeland in 1907, was the first totally synthetic plastic. Nowadays, nearly 400 million tons of plastics are produced each year. Plastics are used in many various places. However, packaging accounts for around a third of all plastic produced, which means a third of all plastics produced are used upon the places of packaging. Another third is used for siding and piping. Most seen plastic products are plastic water bottles and plastic bags. Why are people using plastic even though it is causing serious harmful things to our planet? As we all know, nothing is perfect and everything has its own advantages and disadvantages, and so do its plastics. One important advantage of plastic is that they are really convenient to use. For instance, if you go to the supermarket, you will likely use plastic bags to carry home the things you just bought, since it is simply the most convenient way. Compared to other packaging materials, plastics are also quite cheap. Many industrials know that, and that is the reason why most of our packaging and wrappings are made out of synthetic materials. Plastics are prevalent in every aspect of our daily life. Another aspect of plastic is that it ensures durability of products. As we have seen before, there are many advantages related to plastics. However, the use of plastics also implies serious problems. A sad truth regarding our waste production is that our rich Western world gets rid of its waste by shipping it to poor developing countries, which is also known as environmental dumping. This is especially true for plastic waste. Every day, many tons of plastic waste are shipped to Africa and Asia, and people in those regions do not know how to deal with all those waste. That's conditions in those regions are getting worse, and many people who work in waste production suffer from serious health issues. Plastic is one of the harmful non-biodegradable contaminants that pollutes the environment, including land, air, and water. Plastics have a negative impact on the environment both during production and disposal. Gases that pollute air such as carbon dioxide, dioxin, and hydrogen cyanide are produced during the stages of manufacturing. Landfilling with plastic preserves the toxin forever because it is a non-biodegradable substance. Plastics also implies significant air pollution. The majority of plastics are created from fossil fuels such as oil and natural gas, which emit hazardous emissions when they are mined from our planet. According to researchers, almost 40% of the world's rubbish gets burned, and burning plastic releases hazardous compounds such as heavy metals, persistent organic pollutants, and toxic chemicals into the air, and passes in ash waste residues. Plastic waste is also a major factor when it comes to land pollution. Only a small percentage of plastic we throw away each day is recycled or burned in waste to energy plants. Much of it ends up in landfills where it may take up to 1,000 years to degrade, possibly releasing harmful chemicals into the soil. Some of the plastic waste damp in forests and in many places, and they get attached to animals, causing them to suffer from damages and even death. One third of all plastic garbage, according to the report, ends up in soils and water. Between 80% and 90% of the plastic particles contains in sewage, and because sewage slag is frequently used as fertilizer, thousands of tons of microplastics wind up in our soil each year. Plenty of our plastic waste will also end up in our oceans. Plastics, which takes decades or even hundreds of years to disintegrate, poses a number of threats to our water sources and water quality. Plastic pollution from various waste breaks down into tiny bits of plastic, and those microplastics are found in water all throughout the world, including rivers, lakes, and seas. The result from that is water pollution, which is lowering the water quality up to the point of being toxic. Different plastics spread throughout the oceans, and chemicals from those plastics are ingested by animals in the oceans. And again, humans also ingest those animals such as fish, and the toxics from those fishes get into our body, and those toxics are directly linked to various diseases. For example, cancers, immune system problems, and childhood developmental issues. Moreover, we will also suffer from a decrease in air quality and water quality that is caused by damping and burning plastics. Not only humans but also other living creatures also suffer from plastic waste. Due to the water pollution and air pollution, all animals living on this earth suffer from many diseases. The plastic waste dumped without any care gets into the habitat of those animals, and those wastes are either eaten or pose dangerous incidents like getting stuck until not able to breathe, and that results in death of many animals. That's overall, the use of plastics and the resulting plastic waste can cause many severe health problems in the long run. Now I will explain the life cycle stages of plastic. In the initial stage of production, toxic gases and waste are produced, which result in air pollution and pollute the environment. The produced plastics are distributed to people for use, and in this stage, plastics are used in various places. For example, plastic food containers and plastic caps. Leaching of chemicals are resulted from those substances, and the microplastic enters the human food chain, which leads to various dreadful diseases. In the last stage of disposal, plastics are disposed either by burning or dumping them. By burning, air pollution occurs, and by dumping in land and water, the causes of landfills and water pollution and death of many animals. So, since plastics can cause dangerous problems to our environment, how can we reduce the production and the use of plastics? One way is recycling, which is collecting back the used plastic things and turning them back into new and clean plastics to be used again. This can reduce the production rate of plastics and the use of plastics, but only the high developed countries are able to do it, and currently developing and developed countries are not able to do it. So, is there any other ways to reduce the use of plastic? Yes, it is to use less plastic products. For example, bringing your own non-plastic shopping bags, using water bottles which are not plastic instead of using plastic water bottles, and choosing non-plastic containers and products over the plastic ones will surely bring down the number of plastics. Since we all are living on this planet Earth, everyone is responsible in this plastic pollution because those are harming our planet in many various aspects. So, by working together as a team and as a person who is living on this beloved planet Earth, together we can save the world. These are the citations and the references from where I take the information from. And thank you for listening to my presentation. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day.